Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Sports Center 27. Today is May 5th, 1864, and we have a special guest today. He is a man that was born and raised in Virginia. You all know him, Country Isaac. Thank you. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, everyone. I'm happy to be here. We invited Country Isaac here to provide us a different perspective on the recent tensions that have been arising between the North and South of our wonderful nation. Please tell us about this. Well, from what I've seen, the North wants to take away our property for moral reasons, but they say that all men are protected, guaranteed rights under the law, but these ain't men we're talking about. These are just laborers. They're God's creations, and He sends them here to help our economy, and if the North tries to take them away from us, our economy's ruined. Well, Country Isaac, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I just want to present both sides of the story. So the North says that the slaves are men, and that because of that, they're protected by all laws that protect you and me. But the South has provided no reason as to why they aren't men. But returning to the tensions, South Carolina has seceded from the United States, and I don't think this looks very good for them if war ends up breaking out. But this is just coming from the comparison of manpower alone. Ulysses S. Grant, the new general, has built up a force of about 125,000 men, but Robert E. Lee only has about 62,000. So looking at sheer manpower alone, I'd say that South Carolina would have to bring some unprecedented tactics to the table if they want to win this now hypothetical war. So just so y'all know, Jefferson Davis is the new president now, and I guarantee you he's going to blow Lincoln out of the water. Hold up, Country Isaac. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just received news that shots have been fired at Fort Sumter, and they're considering it an act of war. Well, I guess this goes back to what I was saying about South Carolina. They're really going to have to bring some good tactics to win. But unfortunately, we can't cover this because there's also been something happening in Orange County in Virginia. Oh, so you mean how the South's about to win? Yeah, I knew they weren't up for the task. Be quiet, the war's barely begun. But anyway, we all remember when Abraham Lincoln discarded Winfield Scott for Ulysses S. Grant. If you didn't, it was really recent. But this is actually going to be Grant's first battle. He sent a regiment through Orange County, Virginia, and this area is basically just a forest. It's about 70 square miles of dense underbrush. So this completely immobilizes all of their troops, and if they end up getting attacked in this area, then that will be really bad for them. When Grant sent them through here originally, he knew this and he was gambling with it. But Robert E. Lee has actually been told of their position, and he sent troops to intercept them, but the Union forces are not aware yet. It's your troops' fault for being so darn rowdy. If they wouldn't have been so loud, then Robert E. Lee, what's his name, wouldn't have seen them from up top at Clark's Mountain. Please say something useful. Wait, you said Clark's Mountain? Oh, that is interesting. But anyway, General Grant was notified of this, which was very fortunate for the soldiers. Like I said, they were in a 70 square mile forest in the middle of nowhere, so the fact that they were able to get word to him in the same day was quite lucky. But he told them to attack when they were least vulnerable. This does not sound like a good plan at all, but that's because it isn't. And like I said, it's dense underbrush, 70 square miles of it, so this completely immobilizes all of their units. Their artillery and their cavalry is completely useless here. But Grant knew this because just last year, in fact, Union troops were sent through this exact same area, and they were intercepted by Confederate troops, and it wasn't a good day. It was an embarrassing defeat. So I don't think he should have sent them through here in the first place. I feel like you're not letting me talk much. That's because I invited you here to be useful, and you're doing nothing but competing. Fine. Union forces, all their their flanks were attacked by the Confederate forces, my country by the way, and every single one of them was taken down with them. And the Union tried to call in their artillery, but that was also intercepted because the Union sucks. And this artillery, since it was in the middle of the forest, because Grant's stupid, I don't know why I sent them through there in the first place, but they were in the middle of the forest, so they couldn't use the artillery well, and one of the dummies tried to use it anyway and caught the whole freaking place on fire, and everyone who didn't escape got burned up alive. Is that better for you? Yeah, I guess, yeah. But at the beginning of this, since the underbrush was so thick, the Union Army actually had a 71-mile tail behind them. And at about this point, the other Union soldiers had caught up. But they saw that they were being defeated badly, and one specific general, General Crawford, he actually retreated before he even got there. So if you ask me, Crawford's quite the coward. Yeah, the Union forces ran far, and it looks like they might not be coming back. You know, I don't think Crawford's alone in that. No, that's because General Grant ordered them to fall back and attack again in the morning, and I thought you were done. But anyway, they fell back and started fighting in the morning, and they fought through the whole day, but they ended up retreating, and it seems like this is a defeat. But General Grant actually considers this battle to be tactically inconclusive, to use his words exactly. This here, confrontation here, it killed so many of my state's troops. We're the only troops. It killed so many of them that we were easy picking for future battles, and that's the only reason why we lost the war in the first place. So, now that the battle's been officially concluded, I think that we should go over the stats, if you will. So what happened is the Union lost just over 3,000 to wounds and a similar amount to prisoner of war camps. And the Confederacy lost about 1,500 to each. When you compare these numbers to each other, it looks like the Confederacy won as far as deaths. But when you compare it to the original size of each army, you can see that the Confederacy actually took more of a hit in this. Now, Grant did consider this tactically inconclusive despite that, which I don't agree with. Like I said, they inflicted more of a hit upon the Confederacy, and this would actually lead to the eventual downfall of the Army of Virginia, which was actually the only army that the Confederacy had. And this didn't affect Grant's path at all. Normally what would have happened is as soon as the troops were inflicted this 3,000 deaths that the Union did, they would have returned home because they fret that they wouldn't be able to reliably win the future battles. But Grant just kept pushing. So it didn't affect the Union at all, but it did lead to the downfall of the Confederacy, so I don't see where it's tactically inconclusive. And oh my God, I just received news that Abraham Lincoln has been assassinated. Yeah, I knew it. Quiet! In response to this devastating event, well, it's not bad for us. Leave. With him gone, we can continue. So, now that our president has been assassinated, Vice President Andrew Johnson was recently sworn into office. Now, this isn't good news for any victories that the Union made because Andrew Johnson is actually a white supremacist. Now, his first move in office, unrelated to white supremacy, is to replace Lincoln's 10% plan with 50% plan. So now instead of 10%, it's 50% of any Confederate state has to swear an oath, swear their loyalty to the Union for the state to be readmitted into the Union. And the radical Republicans have actually come up with a plan of their own. They want to strip all slave owners of their slaves with no compensation and force every single southern state to rejoin the Union. Now, the South, they started a battle that they couldn't win, which was shown to them very clearly. But now the North is faced with an important decision. Do we go with the white supremacist who stands against everything that we have fought for, or do we go with the radical Republicans that will anger the South so much that it can easily cause future conflicts? Thank you for watching SportsCenter 27. I think we both know who we won't see here again, and have a good day.